ready?
Ready.
Okay, so my technique is technique number 33, and the title of it is On Your Mark. On Your Mark is a strategy that outlines the expectations that you as a teacher have for your students in reference to having them prepared and ready to start class. So actually the premise is that everyone in the class should be ready at the starting line. Okay, and the starting line is within the first 7 minutes after class has started. That's the starting line, okay?
Wait, no.
Oh, there's no way.
No, that's your, no.
That's gotta be it.
That's right, that's right, absolutely. Okay,
Really?
It's gotta be immediate. That's
That's
the whole
right.
point of the technique.
That's right.
You
That's
got it.
right. Absolutely, good job.
She didn't trick you.
Very good.
No, after I'm going, wait a
Right,
minute.
no, okay, okay. So basically, whatever you want your students to have out on their desk in order to be prepared for class, whatever supplies that you want them to have, first you must teach them. You have to teach them, and then you use On Your Mark to prepare them, and then expect them to do this every time, okay? So why is On Your Mark important? It's important because having clear expectations for your students, it'll make a huge difference in their performance and in the way the order of the class goes. So when you implement the strategies well, you will see the effectiveness of it. So when should you use On Your Mark? Okay, the expectation is to use it, as long as you use it, at least 2 to 3 times a week. At least 2 to 3 times a week.
Wait. Okay, I'm just really confused. I thought this was like a daily thing.
It is. That's
You
what
got
that
it.
was.
Okay, I didn't know. I was like, wait, y'all already had your mistake.
Good
Okay.
job. Good job, Mackenzie. Let's give Mackenzie a 10-finger woo. Woo.
Do it again.
Okay. Ma'am,
10 finger?
10-finger woo.
Stop
Good
it. Stop
job. Good job. Okay, she caught that. Good job. So actually, the expectation is that you would use it every day. That's good. Okay, so how can this strategy be implemented? What are the steps? Step number 1, it says to be explicit. So when you're explaining whatever your On Your Mark is, you should be extremely clear about what you want your students to have out on the desk, and nothing else should be on the desk. And the book talked about how you want to make your list a small, finite list with fewer than 5 items on your list, and something that would never change. This is what you will expect them to have out every day, okay? So step number 2, it says to set a time limit. Be specific about when the students need to have everything ready. If you have older students, maybe 1 minute. 1 minute would be sufficient to, have your On Your Mark set. Okay. And step number 3, it says implement small and appropriate consequences for your students who are not on their mark by the stated time limit. Like I said, for example, if it's an older student, a logical consequence could be that you could have them come to school maybe 10 minutes early to help them prepare to be on their mark when class starts. And if it's a younger student, to help them, you may want to take a few minutes of their recess away, or you may want to ask them to move their behavior clip if they're not adhering to the On Your Mark. Okay, and you want to do these, you want to make sure you have these definite consequences in place, because if students realize there are definite consequences for not being on their mark, this will motivate them to get on their mark and to be ready and to be prepared. So step number 4, it says allow students access to tools or extra supplies before class starts. And as we all know, a big part of preparation is knowing what you need to have before the time for class. So if students realize before class that they need a pencil or a paper, that's making them responsible. And then we as teachers, we should make sure we have extra supplies and let the students know the designated place for those supplies. But the key is that they're gonna realize and recognize that they don't have what they need before class starts. And they'll be responsible enough to let you know, and then if you have your on your mark system in place, they'll know what to do and where to go to get the extra supplies. And this will also motivate them to be ready for class. Okay, the last one is homework. Homework can be a part of the on your mark setup. But anyway, the homework could be part of it. If you have the homework as part of the on your mark routine, then that would teach the students not to forget their homework or not to lose it. That could be part of the structure as well. That could be part of the routine, and that'll teach them, okay, and then that'll motivate them to have their homework. Okay, so let me tell you the main parts of on your mark is getting the students, the key main points are to getting your students on their mark is to teach and be explicit. That's the main thing. When you're teaching them about on your mark, you want to give them clear instructions. You want them to know what you want them to have out on their desk and nothing more, nothing less. Okay? Oh, let me go back to homework also. When you're teaching them, if you have homework as part of your on your mark, you should have a designated place for them to put the homework. Okay? They should know what to do when they come in. They should know where to put the homework. If it's going to be at the top of their desk in the upper right corner, upper left corner, they should know that. Okay? And like I said, the key main points to getting students on their mark is to, number one, teach and be explicit. Number two, model. Number three, practice. Practice, practice, practice. Okay? So let me review and recap. I'll tell the steps again. Number one, it says be explicit about what students need to have to start class. Number two, set a time limit. Number three, use a standard consequence when they're not on their mark. Okay? Number four, provide tools without consequences to those who recognize the need before class. And the last one is include the homework. Make turning in homework part of the routine students need to follow in order to be ready for that day. Okay, it should be turned in and checked for completeness at the start of class, and there should be a separate consequence for not doing it. Okay, so let me show you, this is an example. Whatever you want your quote on your mark to be, that's what you explain to your students, but this is an example of an on your mark strategy. Okay, it says on your mark. Number one, it says paper out. Okay, the students will know, you got to explain this to them and be explicit. They'll know to have their paper out. This, in order to get ready for class so class can start. Number two is have your desk clear. Okay, number three is pencils sharp and ready. Okay, all of this is what they should do and they should know to do to have, to be on their mark. And the last one is homework out. And like I said, in the upper right-hand corner of your desk or wherever you designate for them to have the homework out. So this is just a little quick, example of an on your mark strategy. Okay. Okay. Last but not least, I'm going to show you a video, and you'll see this strategy in practice, in action. You'll see this strategy in practice, okay? Wait a minute.
Good morning, Tanya. Hey, y'all see that deadline tonight? That was a good day. Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome. At this time, I'm going to give you 1 That's right, well, your desk is really clear. Let's get started on your mark and say go. Good job, Bethany. I like the way you're following directions. Good job. All right, all right. My goodness, we did it in 40 seconds. Good job, class. I can see you're ready, and I can see that you kind of get the paper out, get your desk clear. Everyone has a pencil and Bethany that's sharp and ready. And your homework was to the right-hand corner of your desk, just now turn in. Give yourself a pat on the back. Good job.
All right. Okay. And as you could see, and I'm sure you all could, just from looking at the video and seeing how they were able to transition and just move, I'm sure the teacher had already explained it and had given them explicit instructions on what they need to do, because they knew what to do, they knew where to put the homework, they knew where to get the pencils, and she gave them a specific time, which was 1 minute, and so they were able to do it within that time limit.